Laundry day. You've got everything sorted, you load up the machine, you hit start, and then, bam, nothing, just two angry little letters flashing on the screen, bringing your whole day to a screeching halt. We have all been there. And you know what? Today, we are going to solve this thing together.
Okay, so let's get right into it. That FE code blinking on your LG washer's display, it can feel like some cryptic message from another planet. But I promise you, it is not some unsolvable riddle. It's actually a very, very specific message.
So what's it saying? It's simple. It's basically screaming, hey, I'm having a problem with my electronic door lock. That is it. It's a super common, super specific issue. And the cause is usually pretty clear.
And you know what the best part is? You probably don't need to call a repair person just yet. No way. This is one of those fantastic DIY projects that you can almost certainly handle yourself, probably in less time than it takes to watch an episode of your favorite show. So let's get started.
All right, first things first, let's really understand what this error code actually means. Because knowing what's happening inside the machine, well, that's half the battle right there.
I want you to think of this like a digital handshake. Your washer's main computer, the brain, tells the door lock, hey, lock up. It's time to wash. The door lock is then supposed to send a signal back that says, got it, I'm locked and secure. The FE error happens when that return signal never comes back, or it comes back all garbled. The handshake fails, and the whole cycle just stops dead in its tracks. So, if that digital handshake is failing, we've got to figure out why. Let's treat this like a little detective story. We have a few potential culprits, and we're going to line them up and see who's to blame. Here they are, our usual suspects, and we've even ranked them by how likely they are to be the problem. Right at the top of the list, our prime suspect is the door lock assembly itself. After that, we might look at the wiring that connects it. Way less common is a simple physical problem, like the door not closing right. And the very last thing we'd ever suspect is the main control board. So we already have a pretty good idea of who the bad guy is. Well, what if I told you that in the vast majority of these cases, all the evidence points overwhelmingly to just one of those suspects? And this, right here, is the key. Over 80% of the time, this entire headache comes down to that single electronic part, the door lock assembly, just giving up the ghost. And honestly, this is fantastic news for us. It means we have a really clear target and a super high chance of success with a simple part swap.
Okay, time for our game plan. We know who our prime suspect is. Now we just need to follow a few simple steps to prove it and make the fix.
Hold on. Before we touch a single thing, this is the most important slide in this entire explainer. I mean it. Stop what you're doing, go to the wall outlet, and physically unplug your washing machine. No exceptions. Safety is always step zero.
Okay, here's our roadmap. We're going to start with the easiest stuff first, the things you can do without any tools at all. Then we'll dive inside the machine for a quick look and just follow the evidence from there. All right, step one. First, just open the door and close it firmly. Listen, do you hear that nice solid mechanical click? Good. Next, really check the latch area for anything obvious. A stray sock, a coin, any gunk built up in there. And finally, if you haven't already, leave that machine unplugged for 5 full minutes. Sometimes that's all it takes to clear a simple electronic glitch. If that didn't do the trick, it's time for step 2. Go ahead and grab a screwdriver. On the very back of the washer, you'll find 2 screws holding that top panel on. Take them out. Now just slide the top panel back an inch and lift it off. Look inside, right where the door latch meets the machine. You'll see the door lock assembly. Carefully unplug its little plastic wire connector. Now I want you to look very closely at the metal pins on the lock and inside that connector. Do you see any black soot? Any burn marks? Maybe even some slightly melted looking plastic? If you see any of that, then congratulations, you just found your culprit. So based on what you've just seen, or maybe what you've heard, we can now make a really confident call and decide on the fix. Think of this chart as your cheat sheet. Let's say, before this all started, you heard a rapid clicking or a chattering sound coming from the door area when you tried to start a cycle. Well, that's the classic death rattle of a failed door lock. Or maybe the door got stuck locked after a wash. That also points directly to the lock. This just helps you connect what was happening to the root cause. So what's the verdict here? Well, replacing that door lock yourself is a quick 30-minute job that'll cost you somewhere between $40 and $120 for the part. Now compare that to a service call, which is going to easily run you over $200, and you might be waiting days for a technician to even show up. For most of us, that choice is pretty clear.
Okay, let's boil all of this down to the single most important action you can take right now. Here it is, your winning move, all in one sentence. Unplug the machine, pop that top panel off, and get your eyes on the door lock connector. I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, that quick visual check is going to give you the answer you need.
And just remember this, the data is on your side. The odds are overwhelmingly in your favor that a simple, cheap part replacement is the only thing standing between you and a working washing machine again.
So there you have it. The case of the FE error? It's no longer a mystery. It's just a simple investigation with a very likely suspect and a really straightforward solution. The only question left is, are you ready to be the hero of your laundry room?